Hi Roadrunners! If you're considering withdrawing from a class, or you didn't even know that that was an option, this video is for you. All college students should know about the good, the bad, and the ugly of withdrawing from a class. In the most basic terms, withdrawing just means you're no longer officially enrolled in the class. Some of you may have dropped a class at the beginning of the term, but while the process of dropping and withdrawing are the same, the impact on you is very different. When you drop a class before week 2, it's like it never happened. Or as we say in college terms, you never attempted it. When you withdraw from a class, the class stays on your transcript, but instead of a grade, you get a W. Students who have confirmed with their instructors that they cannot pass a class will often withdraw and take that W on their transcript instead of a failing grade. A W doesn't affect your GPA, so that sounds like a pretty good deal, right? Well, there's a little more to it than that. Withdrawing from a class can be a really good option, but should only be done when absolutely necessary. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, withdrawing from a course that's required for your degree means that you'll have to take it again. That's not the end of the world, but if it's a course that's part of a sequence or is only offered once per year, it can really affect your timeline. Now, if an F is the definite alternative, then withdrawing is definitely a good option. You'd have to take the class again anyways with an F, but the W, again, doesn't affect your GPA. Next, a W does impact what's called your completion rate, which is a calculation of the credits that you've successfully completed at your college. To keep your federal financial aid each term, you have to have a 70% completion rate. And when you apply to graduate, you'll need a 70% completion rate no matter how you paid for school. So even if you don't have financial aid, you'll need to have that 70%. I'm not going to go into all the details about how you calculate completion rate, but I'll say this. If you're thinking about withdrawing from a class, talk to financial aid about your completion rate and what your next steps will be if you don't meet that 70%. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, talk to your instructor before you withdraw. I can't tell you how many times I have talked to students who are certain they're failing, they think there is no hope, and they're gonna withdraw. And then they go talk to their instructors and they find out they're not doing nearly as badly as they thought. That test they thought they failed was just a little quiz and it wasn't worth very many points. Maybe they just need a tutor and a better grade on the next test. So before you withdraw, make sure it really is the best option for you by making sure that you can't save that class. Don't give up on a class without all of the information. As you can see, a W doesn't come without its consequences, but it's generally a good deal compared to an F. So here's the general rule of thumb. If there's any way you can get a passing grade, you should take it. Usually. A C or a D might affect your GPA a little bit, but it won't affect your completion rate, and you'll usually stay on track with your education plan. Some programs and degrees don't allow Ds, but you can check again with your advisor on this one. If you know there is no way to pass, consider withdrawing, but talk to financial aid and an advisor first. This is especially important if you're thinking about withdrawing from all of your classes. Sometimes talking to an advisor, they can help you make a strategic decision, like maybe withdrawing from 1 or 2 to lighten your load and continuing with the rest. It might seem strange to approach an instructor or an advisor or a financial aid advisor about withdrawing. It might feel a little uncomfortable for you, but don't worry. We have these conversations all the time. We really appreciate when a student explores these questions and really takes charge of their education in this way. So there it is, the good, bad, and ugly of withdrawing. Remember that the withdrawal deadline is always the Sunday of week 7, so the Sunday at the end of the week. You can withdraw from a class anytime in the Register Add Drop section of WebRunner. So now that you have the information, you can make an informed decision about whether or not dropping or withdrawing from a class is the right choice for you. Have a great week.